Hello my dear learners, in this video I am going to share the R programming language basic tutorial from basic to the advanced level, and I am going to assure you this is the easiest tutorial you will ever seen. You probably have seen lot of videos over internet and YouTube, but there are none of these videos show you the exact basic information that you need immediately to start your R programming journey. And in this video I am going to share not only the tutorial that explain the R programming basic and advanced level tactics, but also there will be a free hand note made only for you to follow. After finishing this video, in the inbox or in the video description you can just click that and download that note, and this is completely free for you. I have designed it for you to follow. If you follow stepwise from beginning to the end, I am going to assure you you will love it, and obviously it will help you to start your R programming for data science journey. So without wasting any time, let's get started with the brief R programming tutorial, but of course the effective one. Okay my dear learners, with this note you can easily start the R programming basic to the advanced level to start your project using any data science domain. So in other videos, in other tutorials, in other YouTube channels, you might see that they start with the R programming language with Rstudio opening, right? I'm not going to do that because this note is for you and it is free. This note you can use to learn the R programming language at your own pace, and using this code and instructions you can easily follow by looking at the R programming console. So I'm not going to start with the R programming download and using the Rstudio code and all those things, because these are already written for you and this is completely free. You can download and start your coding very easily. So this note you can see it starts with the introduction, and this is said this is the short tutorial covers essential R or the most important R constructions that you will encounter most frequently. Okay, this is the easiest way you can learn. Okay, so first you need to install the R and Rstudio. What is the Rstudio? Rstudio is the IDE or integrated development environment where you can type your code and it will execute for you, right? So to do that you need to install first R, and that's why I share the latest R version from CRAN, Comprehensive R Archive Network. You can download. If you click this link, you will go to this particular website where it says the Comprehensive R Archive Network, and you can download for Linux, Mac users and Windows very easily. First download the R latest version, whatever the operating system that you are using, download it, install it, that's it, done. Next you go to the Rstudio, and this is also given the link here. You go and copy and paste or click this link, it will redirect you to the Rstudio Desktop. So you download the Rstudio Desktop. This one, my one is Windows, so I am going to use Windows, but it has Mac and Linux as well, so you can download Mac or Linux very easily. So go and download the Rstudio and set up in your computer. Once you set up your computer, the Rstudio will open and it will look like this. Now the Rstudio has 4 windows. The first window that you are looking at, this one, where you can start your script or writing your code, or you can also write your code over here, just down to the next window. Okay, this one. Now the other 2 windows, one is called the global option, where whatever you are doing the information are stored there. You can look at the information there. I mean the data set or any other observations that you are looking for your data, it will be shown in this particular area. And this is the history, whatever information, like for example files, plots, packages, help, viewer, everything will be shown in this particular area. So I already opened a Markdown file in R programming language. You can either start from the file menu R script, or you can use the R Markdown. What is the difference between R script and R Markdown? R script meaning that you can just type your code, okay, and it will be saved as a code, and there is nothing typing. Like for example, I want to write something in the, like you can write like a Word document, right? You cannot do that in the R script, but in the R Markdown you can write like this, like R Markdown. This is the R Markdown document. Markdown is a simple formatting syntax for automatic HTML, PDF and MS Word documents like this. So you can type anything like a Word typesetting, and for your report, thesis, everything you can use for Markdown. So I strongly recommend you to Markdown, and I have another video how to use the R Markdown. You can look at my channel and there is a link over there. You can always look at that and learn how to use the R Markdown. I will always strongly suggest to do the R Markdown, use the R Markdown, where you can set up your code and at the same time you can write down your information to explain your data and code. Okay, now next go to the next step, where it says that there are many other ways you can learn R programming, right? But there is a common and general format for writing a code, and if you know that code very clearly, then there is no way anybody can stop you. You can easily follow that general instruction or general format and type any code that you like. So what is the general information? You can see here, new object. So first you have to do an object or create an object. What is object? Object is something called a variable. Okay, so variable or object are the same thing. Okay, object or variable meaning containing something. For example, if I want to contain something, for example my glass, and I am containing it in this box, right? So this glass over here is something that I'm containing. So this is the variable. Okay, this is the object or this is the variable. The information, or here this is the sunglass, I am containing in this variable. So this is called the object or variable. Okay, and R programming or Python programming are based on an object oriented programming. So first you start with the object, then R is a function based programming, function based programming. Okay, so always use a function before execute any code. So function, and then your next is within bracket, and then you see object or formula, which means now you can start typing your code. So no, usually the first argument is your data. Okay, what data size type you are using, maybe it's an Excel file or SPSS file. So data information first, and then comma, and then object information, like for example now you would like to say something about that code. Okay, and that's it. Now the another way you can simplify this is in my word object, then this sign is the R sign. R has also a double sign, which means the equal sign, but usually I strongly suggest use this syntax sign, because this syntax sign is meaning that this object is created from. Okay, so created from what? Created from this function. Function is converting something inside the object, right? So here the function first, and then it says argument name is equal to argument value. So maybe the argument name is the formula that you are looking for, and then the next one is option. I mean, if there is any other option, like if you are drawing some graph or pie chart, then you need to label something, right? So you can put that labeling here, right? That's it. This is the general format of R programming language code. Now another example I am sharing here, model. There is object name model, then this sign call is created from this sign, the less than equal sign, meaning that this syntax sign meaning that is created from. LM is the linear model function. I'm saying that R is a function based programming, so always use a function. And then formula, what formula I am using? This is the argument name. Formula is my argument name. Then it says argument value. So what is the argument value? Dependent variable. I am regressing dependent variable and independent variable. So this is a regression example, and then it says option. So now I am saying about this information and putting the name of the data set. So data is my argument name, and data set name is the name that we are file name of the data set. So here this is the argument value. That's it, my dear learners. This is the only thing you need to learn to type your first R code. Okay, and you see, without typing a single code, you are learning it from my note very easily. Okay, Now you go and see how I start doing that. Now my dear learners, you see one more simple example, like cells is the object, C is the concatenate function because R is a vector based function, and then this is the information 34, 45, 65. So these are the information like cells value. One thing you remember that R uses vector ways. Vector meaning a variable. Look at the spreadsheet in an Excel file, and in the Excel file you see there are different type of variable names, right? So variable or vector is something similar, and in one single variable there will be a similar information. For example, if you're looking at the GDP or gross domestic product of a country, then you will simply put the GDP information of that country, right? You are not going to put some other information inside that variable, right? So similar to like that the R programming uses the vector, and here the cells is a vector object, and C is the concatenate function, which means it is combining all the vector information inside the object, which means it's of course a function, and 34, 45, 65 is the value of that vector. Simply like GDP of any country, and there are certain GDP values, you are putting it in by naming a variable. Here the variable name is cells. That's it, my dear learners. Now gradually if you go down one by one, all these tips that I am sharing and my YouTube channel information, there are different type of object and how you can start with the R programming matrices. There are 4 types of data, for example vector, list, data frame, okay, and matrices. All these information are clearly explained in my note. So if you just have to download it, look at it and practice it in your R programming, and you will find it more easier than looking at my video hour after hour. Okay, I have seen that many YouTube videos, there are 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours videos, right? And looking at that type of tutorial for a long time, it is tedious, right? So without doing that, you can just follow my note, and it is structured, simplify and very precise for you to follow and type your first code in the R programming console without wasting any time. So now the informations are given here, especially for data scientists. I have a package, and what is the package? Package of course meaning that somebody else created some function for me and I'm just simply using their function, okay, and this package I need to install every time I want to use it in my R console. So that is called the package, okay, and R uses so many packages, I mean already predetermined built functions while you are doing any data science project. Okay, now there are many informations. One of the famous guy I like is the Hadley Wickham, and he created a package called the Tidybirds package, and in the Tidybirds package you have a different type of information like how you can start your R for data science workflow, and there are 4 steps. First you get the data into the R system, and then transform your data, clean it, okay, and how to clean it, all this information are given in this note, and then visualize and model it, okay, visualizing meaning that different type of graphs, graphical information, and then you make a model and communicate with your client, okay, and all this information are given very nicely, okay. So I'm sure if you read this note and follow in front of your computer or desktop and do it in the R programming console, I am sure you can do it very easily. You can learn the R programming without no wasting time, okay, and hopefully this will help you to learn it very quickly. And my dear learners, in this particular note I can also give you my information. You can always communicate with me for any other help. You can write down in the comment box, okay, what you need. Now before I leave and leave this note, I just want to say here, I just share you first code. I say cells is the code, and then you see concatenate function, okay. So what I said 24, just randomly I'm writing something 45, okay, so just press okay, and you see now you can see here cells. First I write cells concatenate function, few numbers, then when I type cells, press enter, then you see 24, 35, 45, the value is already here. So my dear learners, all this information, how to type in your R programming language, especially in the console, typing your code, learning your code in the console, Rstudio console, you can do it by looking and following my free note only for you. Okay, you do not need to follow any other tutorial for a long hours to learn R programming. I'm assuring you, you can do that by looking at this note and typing in the Rstudio console. And I'm sure you will be very benefited by this note, and if you benefited, do subscribe my channel. Okay, so until next time, bye bye.